Imagine standing on a quiet shore and watching not warships, but hundreds of ordinary ferries and cargo vessels advancing toward you. This summer, Reuters uncovered a civilian fleet that looks harmless on paper, yet may be China's most dangerous weapon, a hidden armada rehearsing for a real invasion of Taiwan. If you have been following the Taiwan Strait story even loosely, you might feel as though the tension rises by a few degrees every month. But what Reuters uncovered this summer takes us into a different territory entirely. And as you hear this, imagine you are standing on a beach, looking out at the water and watching not warships, but ordinary cargo vessels and ferries gliding towards the shoreline with something far more serious on board. China is mobilizing a fleet unlike anything we've seen in the region before. An armada of civilian ships quietly preparing for a mission that could surpass the scale and complexity of the Second World War's Normandy landings. This is not speculation. Reuters tracked them. Satellite images confirmed them. Naval experts have analyzed them. And all signs point to one conclusion. Beijing is rehearsing for the most dangerous military operation in modern history, a full-scale invasion of Taiwan. It began with a series of maritime exercises in the summer, where civilian ships moved in formation, loaded military vehicles, and tested their ability to deliver equipment directly onto the beach. Not deep water ports, not piers, but sand. The kind of landing that an invading force would need in the first hours of an assault. For a moment, picture that, not a Hollywood beach landing. A real one. Carried out by ships that, on most days, ferry tourists carry cargo or cruise quietly along China's coastline. 11 days after these exercises, another signal emerged. On September 3rd, China marked the 80th anniversary of its victory over Japan. Xi Jinping never mentioned Taiwan in the Victory Day speech. He didn't have to. Every analyst you speak to understands that taking control of Taiwan is the core objective of the Communist Party's long-term vision. Beijing considers the island part of its territory. Taiwan disagrees. The United States watches closely, and all three actors know that any miscalculation could reshape the entire Indo-Pacific order. China's foreign ministry stated firmly that the Taiwan issue is an internal matter and that peaceful reunification remains an option, but that force cannot be ruled out. And as this summer's exercises show, Beijing is not preparing for symbolic gestures. It is preparing for capabilities. Taiwan's Defense Minister Wellington Koo responded with calm clarity.
We closely monitor how they support military operations. We have developed relevant contingency plans.
But behind the scenes, Taiwan's anxiety has been rising. And after seeing what the summer drills revealed, it's not hard to understand why. One of the most striking discoveries from these exercises is the type of ships China is preparing. Civilian deck cargo vessels, roll-on, roll-off ferries, smaller landing craft, all woven into what naval analysts call a shadow navy, a fleet that looks commercial on paper but can be commandeered instantly by the People's Liberation Army under Chinese law. And these ships aren't rare. They are the backbone of China's enormous coastal economy. It took less than 3 decades for China's shipyards to build the world's largest navy. Today, they manufacture more than half of the world's commercial ships. By comparison, the United States produces less than 1%. This sheer industrial capacity matters, because in a real invasion scenario, China would need far more than warships. It would need a constant flow of troops, fuel, ammunition, and supplies to cross the strait repeatedly until Taiwan's defenses break. Military analysts estimate the first wave alone would require between 300,000 and 1 million troops, and a massive supply chain behind them. Right now, China has enough military landing craft to carry only about 20,000 troops in the first assault. They would need hundreds of thousands more. This is where the civilian fleet becomes essential. Reuters tracked more than 100 civilian vessels, some operating near beaches chosen for their resemblance to Taiwan's western shoreline. Satellite images showed deck cargo ships delivering trucks onto sand. Amphibious vehicles entered ferries from ramps. Hundreds of vehicles accumulated near the landing zones in a matter of hours. Admiral Li Shimin, the former commander of Taiwan's armed forces, told Reuters that China now appears to be testing a strategy involving smaller landing ships supported by the civilian fleet. These smaller vessels are faster, harder to detect, and can swarm multiple landing sites simultaneously, complicating Taiwan's defense. For viewers trying to make sense of this, consider what that means. A multi-point, fast-moving amphibious assault would overwhelm radars, stretch Taiwan's defenses thin, and reduce the effectiveness of fixed fortifications built over decades. But even with these capabilities, serious challenges remain. Storms, fog, brutal tides, and treacherous waters define the Taiwan Strait. Yet the direction of travel is clear. China is improving, experimenting, and accelerating. As the exercises continued, Reuters also observed something new: a floating pier system designed to let ships offload equipment without relying on Taiwan's ports. This kind of portable dock can be assembled offshore and used to deliver supplies directly onto land if Taiwan's infrastructure is destroyed or defended. In one drill, vehicles were moving onto the shore within hours. But for Taiwan, the bigger threat may not be the ships themselves. A senior defense official in Taipei, as per Reuters, suggested that China is waging cognitive warfare. The message is psychological. Look at what we can do, look at what we are preparing, and imagine what comes next. Ordinary Taiwanese citizens see a tightening noose, a stronger navy, more exercises, more warnings, and less ambiguity from Washington. Then US President Joe Biden vowed to defend Taiwan, while the Trump administration insists Xi Jinping will not strike on its watch. Yet China's growing shadow navy deepens uncertainty. Each drill, each vessel raises the stakes. Is Beijing preparing for war or building enough power to avoid one?